Hey, 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 what's going on? YouTube, back at you again. None other than yours truly, Brother Kedwin Yah, the messenger. And the Yah is for Yahweh and his Christ, Yeshuwah. We have a great topic lined up for you today. This is part 3 of what is secularism, or who created secularism, both in one in the same sentence. Um, so we brought out the narrative on secularism. Now, what we're going to do today is we want to show you how secularism and also the word jingoism, which I'm going to give y'all the definition of that word here momentarily. Jingoism and secularism pretty much goes together, one and the same, just like I just said on secularism. But jingoism is where I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. First off, my format is gonna be different today because I got hit with a copyright infringement for that music I was using for the background on here when I'm doing Tea Time with Yahweh. And yes, this is still Tea Time with Yahweh. Only we're changing the format up and we're making it more spiritual as to while I'm sharing the messages that I've come up with to share while I'm here on my channel, Tea Time with Yahweh. Now, this information that you're going to be hearing in the background on this, I own the copyright to this. It is mine. This was given to me by the Most High Yahweh and His Christ, Yahshua. And it is spiritual origin. And that's all I'm going to give you on that right as of now. So, with that being said, y'all know how I do it. I like to bring the spirit of Yah right on down to this situation. Today is June the 8th, I do believe. Um, it is, 9, no, it is now 10:03 a.m. And we're going to go ahead and get this thing going. So y'all know how I do it. Let's bring the spirit on down. And then we're going to get into this message. Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. Y'all know how I do it. It's tea time with Yahweh. Got me some coffee this morning. Focus on Yahweh, the Most High, Yeshua. The channeling of Yah. His Christ, Yeshua. So there you have it. I don't know about y'all. I hope you got your spiritual glasses on, because I sure got mine on. And with that being said, let's get to this message. Let's put my other eyes on so that I can see. And yes, we're going to get right into this message. Tone it down just a bit so I can make sure you all hear me on what I'm saying clearly and loudly. So, with that being said, we're going to break this thing down. Now, we already broke down secularism on the last 2 episodes, and today we're going to break down this word jingoism. And what does it have to do with secularism? So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to share the definition of jingoism. And the definition is extreme patriotism, especially in the form of aggressive or warlike foreign policy. I'm going to share that again. Jingoism, extreme patriotism, especially in the form of aggressive or warlike foreign policy. Now I'm gonna repeat them last two words: foreign policy. And I'm sure y'all heard that term throughout your lives and time, foreign policy. So now we know what foreign policy is. Exactly what does it have to do with secularism? Well, with foreign policy, this is how they're able to go all over the world in a, as it says, warlike, an aggressive or warlike foreign policy. So this is how they can go all over the world and be able to use their military strategies against other countries. This is how they set up their narratives. After they set up the secularism aspect of it, then they go to the next level, which is jingoism, meaning if you don't like what I'm doing, I'm gonna kick your you know what. I can kick your you know what, and will kick your you know what, and they've done just that through the movement of jingoism. So let's go ahead on and let's get deeper into this word and what it means. And we're going to do that one with the first synonym, which is what is jingoism in simple words? Jingoism, an attitude of belligerent nationalism or a blind adherence to the righteousness or virtue of one's own nation, society, or group simply because it is one's own. I'm going to clear my glasses off and repeat that because I kind of butchered it a little bit, but listen at what it's telling y'all, okay? Pay close attention on this because it's definitely something that needs to be brought up. These are people who are running your world right now. This is how they move. What is jingoism in simple words? Jingoism, an attitude or a belligerent nationalism or a blind adherence to the righteousness or virtue of one's own nation, society, or group simply because it is one's own. So, in other words, hey, you got to deal with, we just set up our shop. You got to deal with our laws. You got to go by what we tell you to do. And if you don't like it, that's too bad, because this is our own society. This is our own setup. This is our own place. Let's see, what's this next one here? The next one is, what is jingoism in U.S. history? What is jingoism in U.S. history? Jingoism is a term used to describe political perspective that advocates the use of threats or military force in foreign relations, as opposed to finding a peaceful or diplomatic solution. I'm going to repeat that. I pretty much just covered that a minute ago. Jingoism is a term used to describe a political perspective that advocates the use or threats of military force in foreign nations, as opposed to finding a peaceful or diplomatic solution. So, in other words, hey, And I'm glad they broke it down in this simple form. What is jingoism in U.S. history? It just told you that that's pretty much them being a bully. In my opinion, that's what it's telling you. Next one is, what is an example sentence for jingoism? This is pretty simple. He was disgusted by the jingoism that the war provoked, with its assumption that all who did not join were against. He was disgusted by the jingoism that the war provoked, with its assumption that all who did not join were against. So hey, if you ain't with what we saying and you ain't with what our movement, the way we are moving, how we are moving, then you are against us. And we got something for you. That's pretty much what they tell you. What was jingoism in late 1800s? See, now we getting close to the origins of jingoism. Okay. The term jingoism dates from the late 1870s. The jingos, so termed after a music hall song, were vociferous supporters of a strong British foreign policy in the Near East. Now y'all notice, look what countries they speaking on. British. They just spoke of the British. So think about it. I want to repeat that real quick. The term jingoism dates from the late 1870s. The jingoism, so termed after a music hall song, were vociferous supporters of a strong British foreign policy in the Near East. Jingoism subsequently came to define a foreign policy and support the national interest that took its cue from public opinion. Jingoism subsequently came to define any foreign policy in support of national interests that took its cue from public opinion. Notice it said it took its cue from public opinion, but in other words, depending on what the public were kind of like what's that word? Kind of like edging them on for what it is they wanted to do. So they saying that they're adding the opinion in of the public, as in how they move. That's kind of like how secularism is also. They pretty much two one and the same, like I said earlier. So what is the difference between nationalism and jingoism? Jingoism is nationalism in a form of aggressive and proactive foreign policy, such as a country's advocacy for the use of threats or actual force, as opposed to peaceful relations, in efforts to safeguard what is perceived as its national interest. So I guess this is like how they go around the world and negotiate and make deals with other countries. Whether it's going to be they make an agreement with another country or whether they are go against each other, if they disagree, such as a country's advocacy for the use of threats or actual force as opposed to peaceful relations. That's what it's telling you right there. That's basically what that's breaking down. This is how they move and how they move around the world and how they set up things with other countries. So, what is the opposite of jingoism? What is the opposite of jingoism? Tolerance, broad-mindedness, respectivity, receptiveness, exnophilia, openness, accessibility, charity, approachability. That's what that said. Approachability. Ah, wow, that was a lot right there. I mean, you can all go behind me and research all of this stuff because it ain't gonna do nothing. Give you the same information it's giving me. Jingoism. Where did Jingoism originate? Jingoism originated during the Russo-Turkish War of 1877 to 1878, when many British citizens were hostile toward Russia and felt Britain should intervene in the conflict. This is where this is what I'm saying. This is how they move. Going to war or peace, like you just said earlier. Can a person be gymnastic, jingoistic? Can a person be jingoistic? Meaning of jingoistic in English: someone who believes that their own country is always best. He was a confirmed jingoist and would frequently speak about the dangers of Britain forming closer ties with the rest of Europe. Let's go to the next one. What is a synonym of jingoism? Synonym for jingoism. On this page, you'll find 9 synonyms, antonyms, and words relate to jingo, such as belligerent, chauvinist, jingoist, militarist, warmonger, and chauvinist. And chauvin. 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 Those were the synonyms of jingoism. What is an example of bimorphic? Where did that come from? Having two morphemes, the smallest unit of language that has its own meaning, either a word or a part of a word. Some children are taught to spell by having them separate the morphemes morphemes of a bimorphic word and then having them spell it apart. Player is bimorphic since it has two morphemes. Play and player. That's weird how they broke that down. Anyway, that word that had something to do with something totally different. But anyway, I'm gonna share a couple more of these and then I'm gonna let y'all go. What is jingoistic personality? Meaning of just jingoistic in English. Someone who believes that their country, we shared that. Someone that believes that their country is always best. He was a confirmed jingoist and would frequently speak about the dangers of Britain forming closer ties with the rest of Europe. Patriotism and nationalism, anti-nationalism, and chauvinism. Anyway, let me get on up out of here. Okay, I'm gonna share this last one and I'm out of here. What are the 3 types of nationalism? No, not that one. Well, yeah, I gotta share that. What are the 3 types of nationalism? 21 language nationalism. No, 2.1 language nationalism. 2.2 religious nationalism, and 2.3 post-colonial nationalism. There you go. Language, religion, and colonialism all in one. I'm glad they brought that out. All in one hookup. So we gonna shut this down here, y'all. I just wanted to show y'all how powers that be, they set up this is how they set up all their narratives, how they move. As you see, they move with an open mind as far as doing whatever it is they want to do. They set up shop to do things the way they want to do it, not the most high way. Excuse me, not the most highest way of doing things, which is Yahweh and His Christ, Yeshuwah. So, with that being said, I've just given you part 3 of the Who Created Secularism and What is Secularism. Part 1, 2, and this was part 3, Jingoism and how it ties into secularism. So I just gave y'all that. This is Tea Time with Yahweh and His Christ. And I do have a new format now on how I'm doing things. I'm moving more in the spiritual way. We will not be sharing that music that I shared on the first group of episodes that I did here on this channel. So with that being said, y'all know how to do it. May all be blessed in this world of mess. And this is Brother Kedwin Yah, the messenger. Y'all make sure y'all come back now again, you hear? And I'm out.